All right, last night wasn't as fun as game one. We'll just call it like it is. Canes, Caps, 1-1. After the Capitals won 3-1 last night, you heard the calls right there, the last one being an empty netter. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox here, producing the show as he always does. Happy Friday to you all. I'm just let you know, I'm big picturing this bad boy. We don't need to focus in on last night. Let's big picture it. Successful business trip to D.C. for the Canes. 1-1. Stole home ice. If you don't win another road game this series, you win the series and you advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's the big picture. That's where it starts and ends. It's actually kind of funny. I have some friends. They're not friends right now, but some friends that are Caps fans, right?
We'll call them people you know.
Yeah, most of the time we overlook that, but right now, they're just acquaintances. After the game yesterday, they were talking a bunch of trash. I'm like, are you guys missing it? Sure, you won. Yes, overall, Canes are ahead on the cards. Like overall, they won a road game. I'm sure it was fun to watch Tom Wilson go crazy. I'm sure it was. But you have to acknowledge that you were playing catch up there. You were trying to get back to even, and I don't even think you necessarily did that. Shout out to someone on Twitter who said 1-1 on the road. They consider that like being up 6-4. Like it's not exactly 50-50. You got you're 60%, right? You're ahead by a little bit. So I'll take that. I believe I like that kind of logic. Now looking at the Canes, right, there was an opportunity to take a commanding 2-0 lead. Right? It was right there for the taking. And I've settled in on this. You have to take games like that, meaning the Canes are going to play Canes hockey. If they win or they lose, they are consistently them. Their identity is there. So after wins, like in game one, as late as they come, right? It came all the way in overtime and they had to come back. After wins, you get this empowering feeling of if they just possess the puck and they take a ton of shots and they keep at it and they keep at it and they trust it and they keep at it, then wins are inevitable. It's just a matter of time. After losses, you could play the exact same way, have a few breaks here or there, go the opposite way, and you're like, they have to work for higher leverage shots. It's not just volume of shots. You have to get better chances, and you have to learn to finish better. Even though the Kane system is the Kane system, right? So, I mean, if we're just looking at last night, they had to work for higher leverage shots and they had to finish better because it's after a loss. If one more skate deflects a puck into the net and it goes to overtime and the Canes win, we're not even having this conversation. But that's not, so we do. We have to have it. You have to score goals. That we're starting off Friday with some Captain Obvious stuff here.
I was like, oh, okay, that's how it works. Okay.
Yeah. And you know what? I didn't watch any NBA last night, but I'd guess they have to put the ball in the hoop. You got to put it in the net. You got to put it in the net. Sebastian Aho spoke to the media today. He was asked if there's more they can do with getting shots on net.
Be a little bit more accurate, right? I mean, we try to score in every shot, but yeah, I mean, they done a good job blocking shots, making us. That's a good team. They defend well. I think we defend well as well, and their goalie has been playing good. So yeah, I guess stick what we do and have a chance to put it in.
Both teams had a power play goal. If you remove the Caps' empty netter, which obviously you would if the Canes also scored one or if the Caps didn't score their second, right? So that situation wouldn't exist. Both teams get a power play goal. Take away the empty netter. The difference was, and this is the game of inches. The difference was a attempted clear hit Shane Gostisbehere in the face, and it led to a breakaway goal for the Washington Capitals. That's the difference. That goal is the difference. So when I'm sitting here saying, you have to find a way to score or you have to score goals and it seems obvious, the reason why I say it is you can't just depend on everything being even, right? There are going to be breaks. There are going to be seemingly lucky things. There is going to be a puck that hits your own guy in the face and somehow works as an outlet for the other team's fast break. And unless you are able to add a couple to your scoring column, those breaks are going to cost you. Those breaks are going to cost you. Now, there's obviously, you'd like to have won that game, and 2-0 would feel glorious, and then we'd have like a live band in here, and we'd be dancing rather than talking because you would be up 2-0 after 2 road games over the Caps. That's not where we are, but there are still so many things that if I told you before the series, hey, you can sign up for this right now after 2 games, you would jump on it. If I sat at the beginning of the series and said you're going to Washington for games 1 and games 2 after a week off, and I said you can come back 1-1.
Deal.
100%.
Yeah.
Where do I sign?
I take that.
If I said Freddie's going to allow 3 goals through 2 games.
Deal.
Take
that.
If I said you were going to have nearly double the shots on goal of Washington, 61 versus 34, through 2 games, sign me up. 80% penalty kill. Sign me up. There's so much that if you told me before the series, I would have said absolutely. And then you'd probably sneak it in at the end. Somehow you're not going to win the second one. And you'd be like, really? Okay. And they're all right. I'm still taking it, but it's a little bit more difficult to explain there.
I don't know if it was just fans for the fact that Carolina won game 1 and they controlled that game so much in game 1 that all of a sudden we're thinking like, oh yeah, sweep. Yeah, we're taking game 2. It's like all of a sudden we lose game 2, a very close game, by the way, and it's like, well, sky's falling. Well, like, wait a second. Actually, you did everything that you wanted to in the first 2 games. Yeah, like you said, you're coming back home 1-1, and your top guys haven't even got going yet, and you're coming back home where you were the best in the NHL. Most home wins in the NHL this season, along with the LA Kings, who are sitting at home right now, by the way. That's where you are as a team. You're in a great spot.
Do you know?
Really are.
Do you know what I think it was? I think it was going into game 2. I think we were all excited about game 1, but understanding, like, if you come home with 1 win, 1 loss, that's a good business trip. Then the first period happened. And the Canes were super dominant again, and they controlled the action, and they had it in the offensive zone for just gigantic stretches, and it felt as dominant as the first period was in game 1. Both of them no goals for the Canes in those games, but they were just dominant, so it felt the same. So after the first period, there was a feeling of, here we go again. Canes are going to dominate. It'll happen. Just give it time. And you almost let yourself believe that it was going to be this, like, not only want to say this easy, that the Canes were going to dominate it that much. And then the second period was different. The second period, you could tell, I don't know if it was the caged animal thing, right? Like you fight hardest when you feel your survival is at risk, and Washington brought more energy, and maybe the Canes weren't ready to answer. Whatever it was, it changed, and that's kind of what a 7-game series is. Right, you land a punch, they counter, then you have to fight back, and you got to try to land a combo. Like there's going to be sways. There's going to be the pendulum swinging. But I still think if I offered you where you sit right now at the beginning of the series to Canes fans, you would take it. And you would be excited to come back to the Lenovo Center, one of the most raucous environments in hockey. You'd be excited for tomorrow, Saturdays, Game 3. So don't change that. Don't be downtrodden, right? I say this. So at home, I have a 4-year-old son and as of 2 days ago, 3-month-old daughter. My 3-month-old daughter is a very good sleeper for a newborn. My 4-year-old son was the worst. He was awful at just sleeping as a newborn. Everything else great, right? Love them both, all that kind of stuff. Say all the stuff that fathers need to say. But I tell people I had my kids in the right order, because if the easy sleeper was first, and then I was expecting the easy sleeper with the second one, and I got, up all night every night, it would be really bad. But instead I had the bad sleeper first, so I was expecting bad sleep, and when she was giving us, chunks of hours at a time right out the gate, I was going like, oh, this is awesome. The Canes, they had them in the wrong order, right? If you would have played game 2, lost 3-1, but were in it, dominated the first period, but just didn't close, that would have been, okay, on the road, good showing, good effort. Then game 2, dominate the first period, hold on to the puck, get a bunch of shots, win in overtime. Imagine the momentum coming home for game 3 if you just took game 1 and game 2 and flipped it. The momentum coming off the overtime win, Slavin scoring the goal, we'd be meeting them at the airport with trumpets. Bring that energy to game 3, because who cares what the order is? The order just changes how it feels. It doesn't change how it actually was.